Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joyce and I'm located in the Riviera Maya, Mexico. Today's topic is going to be how to plan your destination wedding in an all-inclusive resort. Are you feeling overwhelmed and you're not sure how to start planning your destination wedding? So stay tuned so I can start giving you some tips which I'm sure they are going to work for you. Here's a common mistake that a lot of couples fall into without actually realizing it. So in the early stages, when you start planning your wedding in an all-inclusive, you want to first figure out what your budget and what your guest count or your guest list look like. When you have a better vision of this, then you know how you can go about planning your wedding, how you're gonna start allocating the money on different things around your hotel. In the beginning, when you don't have a travel agent, so this is a little bit on how it would go about. You would be in contact with the hotel sales groups where they can make a block for your guests. So when that part is done, then it's going to come the part where you have to choose a package from what they are offering you. So then these two things are kind of like a little bit separate. First of all, you need to figure out the room part and block your rooms, and then on the other hand you need to book your actual wedding. So just because you are booking your rooms doesn't guarantee you that your wedding date is booked. So there's two things that are super major. You block your rooms so they can allocate space for your guests to start booking their rooms, and then on the other hand is to have your wedding package. Now this one, like I said, there will be different kinds of packages for you to select from, and then the planning can start. I'm going to jump at these 2 points I just discussed with you. So if you are actually having your guests stay at the hotel, they normally would require about 80% of your guests to stay at the hotel. So then they are able to confirm, you being able to host your wedding with them. And then you pretty much have around a minimum of 3 nights that is required. So you are considered a group when you have about 10 rooms, right? So then you will require like a minimum of 3 nights. So that is secured, and then your guests themselves can decide on what room category they want. You don't even need to worry about that. So that is less stress for you. So when you're blocking it, just put everybody with entry-level room, whatever they're offering, and then each guest, when they're booking, they can choose which one they want. And then on the other hand, when it comes to packages, then when you already selected one, you want to find out what is exactly in it, what is exactly included, and what is going to be your additional things that you have to pay for. It's very common that actually you don't get in touch with the on-site coordinator until about 3 months prior to your wedding. Some resorts may include them a little bit earlier before. So what you want to do in the time being is, at the beginning, once you secure your rooms and your package, then you can they will start sending you different kinds of vendors to choose from. So what you can do at that time is look at the photographers they have. Keep in mind that in the hotels, in all-inclusive resort, they will always have different kinds of vendors. They call them in-house. Should you not want to work with any of those, you want to find out with the hotel what would be additional costs that you will be charged in case you wanted to bring outside photographer, makeup artist maybe from home. Oh, by the way, if you have a makeup artist traveling with you and they're staying on site, then they don't need to pay. But again, guys, we have lots of good local vendors that I would highly recommend in case you didn't like what you see from the hotels. It's always advisable. Look at what you are being offered through them, and then if it fits with the style you are going for, by all means, you can work with them. If it doesn't, then that's when I recommend you to actually start looking in the local in the local vendors to find out if somebody fits. Maybe they even know the hotel better, and they can come in, but then keep in mind about the fee that will also come in there for you. There's a part that is also important, guys, and I say this because this is a shocker. I get this question, I want to say weekly. It has become like a weekly question because couples just like you are new into planning and they're not even sure how it's done. So especially when you don't even have a travel agent or a wedding planner working with you, so you're not even sure who to ask these questions. So hotels, when you are having, they may be an all-inclusive, but when you are having a private event, that means you are going to be charged for hosting that private event, even though it's an all-inclusive. Yes, they offered you a package. It included certain things and there were other items that were not included. You are going to be charged, and this is a shocker, guys. I'm sorry, I need to stress that word. You are going to be charged, and this is why you're being charged. So you have been paying for your room, you are going to a restaurant to eat, hang out at the pool to eat. Now, a private event is that the chef, the kitchen staff, they need to come and set up a whole buffet for you outside, for you and your guests. There has to be waiters that are allocated for events, for your event. So they have to charge for that setup. They have to charge for that service of the waiters, the bar waiters. So you want to find out actually what is the extra cost for having a private event. Some of them may include certain things in a private event package, but there's a lot of it that you will still need to pay for. And I get this a lot. Joyce, why do I have to pay? If I'm in an all-inclusive, why do I need to pay for my cocktail event? Your cocktail event, because it's a private event, that's what you are being charged for. Guys, I hope this is making sense. If you have questions, feel free to ask below and then I'll get back to you. I have this other thing that I want to say it's like a second shocker. Sorry that I'm saying it like that. So you have a package, and when you were booking a package, it showed you it cost whatever the X amount that you saw for an X amount of guests. There will be an additional cost if you have people above that number. Let's say a package was for 30 people and you have 40 people or 50 people. Then you have to remember what is the additional cost after the 30 people. Now, what happens is that you're gonna put those additional costs and there's services and there's taxes on top. So when you do numbers, now your package no longer look like the number you saw in the beginning. Not forgetting, you always have to factor in your photographer, your hair, makeup if it's not included in the package, your DJ, your dance floor, and all the decor. And mainly for the items you need for the receptions. Majority of the packages, they just come with a lot of the ceremony stuff. Like they would give you maybe like a minister if it's a symbolic of course, and maybe a gazebo, just like the structure, and then you would need to add like your decor on it. So be very clear on what you are signing with the hotel for, like what contract and what services are included, because if you don't know, then you're gonna feel like things were just adding up, but at the end it's really not just things adding up. It's the fact that maybe you were not made aware of what items will be carried on as additional to the package that you would have selected. If you have questions around this part, feel free to comment. Guys, I have one more pro tip about planning your destination in an all-inclusive. Remember, you are because your wedding is taking place in an all-inclusive, there is always going to be limitations when it comes to when you can end your wedding. And what do I mean with this? Because the hotel already has other guests, they need to be conscious on when music could end. So if your wedding is taking place outdoors, like at the beach or around the pool area, it's very common that you may finish around 10 p.m. or around 11 p.m. Now, what you can do is that have an after party, maybe in the ballroom if you wanted it to be a private event. If not, if your hotel offers like a bar or like a nightlife, then just tell all your guests to meet at the bar and just, dance away the night away. Why I'm mentioning this is because this is going to be a very important detail when you are choosing your photographer, whether you choose to work with the one within the hotel or you choosing one from outside, is to always remember you're not going to have a longer day than somebody who would have had their wedding at a private event, who was going to finish, I don't know, at 2 o'clock or at midnight. So when you are planning, make sure you are considering, okay, if my ceremony is at this time and my last dance is like at 10 o'clock, so I don't necessarily need a 10-hour day for like a photographer. I hope you keep in mind, guys, when you are planning, because these tips are going to be helpful for you. Again, if this part was important and you got some tips that you feel like you're going to use, please feel free to let me know below, and I'll be happy to find out more and talk to you about it more. Like I always say in all my videos, guys, all these tips are here to use for you as tips as you are planning your destination wedding. There's always going to be items that are going to be slightly different than how you are doing things, so be prepared for that. And that's it for me from this video. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you on my next video. Bye.